Okay, folks, I'm here to talk to you today about Ethan Van Sciver's latest crowdfunding campaign, Cyberfrog Dark Harvest. This is an interim campaign between the now being fulfilled Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet. That's right, if you've been waiting over 2 years for this to come due, it's finally in the mail. And Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination, which is going to be the next title in the chapter. Now, there are 3 items being offered in this interim campaign, and I'm going to go over all 3 of them because you might need a little help deciding on whether or not you want to back these. So let's talk about the 3 items that are in the Cyberfrog Dark Harvest campaign. Now, I'm going to go kind of in a little bit of mixed up order as opposed to what's on the page, but there are basically 3 items. Item number 1 I'm going to talk about is Cyberfrog Blood Honey, a chromium edition of the Heroes in Arms, Brothers in Arms cover. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, it is basically a copy of Ultimate Cyberfrog Blood Honey, or Cyberfrog Blood Honey Ultimate Edition. And let me give you an example of what that is. This is the silver cover edition of the Cyberfrog Blood Honey Ultimate Edition. It contains both Cyberfrog Blood Honey and Cyberfrog 1998, The Diary of Heather Swain. Now, when I got this as a dinged and damaged copy, and you can tell it's a little bit dinged up in the upper corner here. I don't mind that at all. Now, this cost me about $10, and then about $10 shipping on top of that. So altogether, this was about $20. Now, the copy that Ethan Van Sciver is going to be selling for this campaign is going to have a wraparound chromium cover with one of his favorite covers, which shows Cyberfrog and Salamandroid marching towards the camera. Basically, it's going to be a beautiful looking comic, and it's going to have some spelling corrections in there. And I'm proud of this part because I pointed out some of the spelling that needed correcting. Especially on the last couple of pages of Cyberfrog 1998, The Diary of Heather Swain, it looked like somebody passed it off to the dyslexic editor in order to proofread it. There were about eight typos on 2 pages. So you will get a corrected copy, and it's going to be complete copy, and it's going to be a beautiful looking copy, and it will be yours for the price of $25. Now, if you've never bought Cyberfrog Blood Honey before, this is probably the copy for you. I mean, unless you want to go on the cheap and see if you can get a dinged and damaged copy like I did, which is going to have either one of these silver embossed covers, or it's going to have the Ghost Edition, which is a white embossed cover. But otherwise, you're going to be paying about $20 to $25 for a copy of Cyberfrog Blood Honey anyway, and you want to make sure that you get Cyberfrog 1998, The Diary of Heather Swain. So you may as well get this copy. If you've never gotten a Cyberfrog comic before, Cyberfrog Blood Honey in this Cyberfrog Dark Harvest campaign is probably the best entry point you will have. Okay, so that is one of the 3 items. The next item we're going to go over is the Unforgettable Tales hardback. It is a collection of 3 old Cyberfrog comics from the earliest days of Cyberfrog. We're talking about, this is before Ethan Van Sciver worked for Harris Comics. He was actually working for a independent company called Hall of Heroes. And he was able to publish 2 issues of Cyberfrog under the Hall of Heroes imprint before, I don't know if it shut down or he just moved over to Harris Comics. And he continued his story there. Now, these 3 comics are the first 2 issues ever of Cyberfrog, plus a 3rd issue that is not canon. It is an alternate reality ending to the first 2 issues story. So this 3-part story in the hardback that he's offering on Cyberfrog Dark Harvest is called the Deathfly Saga, and it introduces Cyberfrog. It introduces the character of Ben Reilly, otherwise known as Deathfly, or in his earliest incarnation as The Fly, and And also in the third issue, which did not see print originally, he instead went off to Harris Comics and he continued the story there under another vein of exploration. This actually has a prototype of Heather Swain, who is one of the leading cast members in Cyberfrog. So you can get these 3 comics from the earliest days of Cyberfrog in a hardback, colored, when originally they were all in black and white, and professionally lettered, whereas before they were just lettered. I don't know if they were lettered by Ethan Van Sciver himself, but you can tell that the lettering is a lot more primitive. Now, how do I know what they looked like back in the day? Well, that's because I, at one point, purchased Cyberfrog, warts and all. Now, warts and all, the complete 90s Cyberfrog, warts and all. If you have ever seen this, you may have seen this offered by itself for about $60, or you might have seen it sold as part of a 2-pack called the Executive Edition, where it would not only come in this slipcase for warts and all, but it also came with this Frogapalooza zine. Now, if you've bought the Executive Edition of Cyberfrog, warts and all, you have the Deathfly saga in this. You have everything that he will be reprinting in that hardback that he is offering for Cyberfrog Dark Harvest. But it's in black and white, it's not colored, and it is not professionally lettered. So if you buy the $45 hardback of the Deathfly saga, you will be, if you've already bought this before, you will be getting stuff you've seen before. However, you will be getting to see it in a much more beautiful format and much more readable format, because let's face it, colored comics are almost always more readable than black and white comics, and the lettering in the original Cyberfrog issues leaves much to be desired. There were some points at which I was trying to read through the stuff and was squinting trying to see the lettering. So no comparison between the coloring and the lettering in this new volume that's coming up and the old material. However, I did want to warn anyone who has already purchased this that you do have the contents. You just don't have them as beautiful as they could look. Now, do you want to spend $45? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say $45? I think it's $40. $40, do you want to spend $40 on a hardback that just has that, or do you want to do what I did and wait until there's a sale on Cyberfrog, warts and all, the Executive Edition? I don't know how many of those he has left, but I managed to pick this up for about $60 plus shipping. And so I got quite a deal on this. Normally this is $120, but in the warts and all, you also get many, many other issues. You get about 10 other issues in the original, whether it's black and white or color. But you get about 10 other issues of Cyberfrog besides those 2 Hall of Heroes editions from the Deathfly saga. It's up to you whether you think that maybe you'd rather plunk down, as I did, on this warts and all Executive Edition, because there's a lot more material in here. This has all, combined with these 2, this has all of the early Cyberfrog material. And so, you know, it depends. It depends on whether you'd just rather see the original Cyberfrog material, the first 2 issues, and then this alternate version of how that saga ended, which is not canonical, and see it in color and see it with professional lettering. If you want to see that, then the $40 hardback in the Cyberfrog Dark Harvest campaign is what you want to get. But if you're looking for completeness sake, then you can chalk up either, you know, anywhere from $60 to $120 for this bad boy right here, and you will be getting everything Cyberfrog from the early 90s, including the earliest comics and the alternate ending that appears in the hardback with the Dark Harvest campaign, but you will get that. You will get much more along with that. So that Those are 2 out of the 3 offerings. The last offering is the only offering that actually offers any new stuff, and unfortunately it's very, very little new stuff. Apparently in Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet, there is a scene in which Heather's daughter Lily goes into a cave, and then she comes out of the cave, and she saw something in the cave, but we don't know what she saw in the cave. That's all I know about the scene. I have yet to receive my copy of Wrecked Planet to know just what all this is in context of. Apparently, the $20 offering for Cyberfrog Dark Harvest is a preview book of Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination, which includes 4 pages that are going to be exclusive to this preview book. They will not appear in Red Extermination. Instead, you will get an additional 6 pages along with these 4 pages that will be in Red Extermination, and then the comic will repeat, having just the line art for the 4 pages of exclusive story and the 6 pages that will come in Red Extermination. And that line art will just be, the comic book line art. This is mostly if you're an artist and you want to see how the sausage was made, basically. But this, to me, is the most disappointing of the offerings, because here was an opportunity to give us something, a wide expansion. Either that or something else between basically asking us to pay $20 for 4 pages. This is ridiculous to me. Now, I'm not saying don't buy it, but I'm having a very hard time justifying this purchase when you've got 20 pages in there. 10 of the pages are absolutely useless to me because I'm a story person. I could give a crap about line art. I don't need to see how the sausage was made. So already half of the book is completely worthless to me. And then there's going to be 6 pages that are going to be in Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination. So basically you're asking me to buy those twice? What the hell? I don't even understand how that makes any sense whatsoever. I can wait. I mean, look how long people waited for Cyberfrog 2 to come out, and I was one of the lucky ones who got in, right at the last minute. My God, what... To expect people to pay $20 for 4 pages of new material for a scene that may or may not have anything important to do with the scene. I mean, if it was so important, why wasn't it a part of Wrecked Planet as some sort of epilogue or some other offering? I mean, honestly, what I really, really hope that Ethan Van Sciver will do with this is that he will make other offerings for this 4-page insert. Because what would be wonderful, and I would probably buy this in a heartbeat, let's say he were to offer you, an all-caps comic hat with the 4-page insert for, $5 plus the cost of the hat. Or even if he was doing the 4 pages plus the repeated line art and sell that for $10 in addition to the cost of the hat. Or $10 for this 4-page insert with the line art repeated and then add a shirt. You could basically pair this off with other higher dollar items and just tack $10 onto the price of the higher dollar item and then make it a combo deal. Because I'm actually interested in picking up a hat. I mean, why wouldn't I be? I'm getting tired of this one. And I'm going to have to be reviewing Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet at some point. So why not get an all-caps comic hat or a Comicsgate hat in which to review that stuff? But I mean, obviously, the campaign is not going to be fulfilled in time for me to do that, so you're probably going to see a lot more of this green bastard. But I'm saying, take this $10 product, which is the 4 pages plus the 4 pages of line art, and use that to sell other stuff. Use that to sell a copy of Blood Honey. Use that to sell a copy of your other thing. You can have the 20-page preview book, which is the 20-page preview book, which is the 10 pages of material and then the repeated 10 pages of line art, and sell that independently for $20, but then have those 8 pages, the 4 pages of just the cave scene, and then the 4 pages of line art, and use that to sell other stuff. Because I guarantee you there's somebody whose OCD is going to be good enough, like mine is. It's like, oh, he's selling, you mean I can get a hat and then I can get the comic? When I definitely already want a hat, so I can get the comic with that, and I don't have to get the 6-page thing of Cyberfrog 3 that I would be repeating paying money for. Oh yeah, sign me up for that. So that is really what I would encourage Ethan to do with his campaign, is make this little product a way of selling some even bigger products. Maybe even attach it as something to sell the warts and all. Hey, what if for $120, what if you ran a deal, not that, there's ever any deals run on these things, even the, get the all-in-one is just summing up the price of the individual things to $85. There's never a discount on these bad boys. But what if, you could use it to sell these? There's probably people out there who are curious about this set, but then if you tack on another $10 and sell them that 4 pages from the preview book, maybe you'll get a few of these sold. I think the potential is endless so far as the smaller book is concerned. So that is my suggestion. I myself cannot bring myself to pay $20 for something that's going to be 75% useless to me, because either I'm already going to buy half of that in Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination, and I don't care about the line art. I'm only getting those 4 pages for those $20. I would much, much rather pay $10 for the 4 pages and then have with that some other item that I want. Make it a hat, make it a shirt, make it another book, something like that. So I think there's a lot of potential in there, and I hope he doesn't waste that potential. So that is my evaluation of the Dark Harvest campaign for Cyberfrog 3. Right now, you've just got the 3 items available. You've got the Cyberfrog Bloodhoney Chromium Edition with spelling corrections for $25. Again, a really, really great entry point if you've never gotten into Cyberfrog before. You've got the $20 preview book, which I'm hoping he'll do things with, which is the 4 pages of an exclusive story and 6 pages of previews for Cyberfrog 3 Red Extermination, plus a repeat of all those pages with the corresponding line art. And then last, you've got the Unforgettable Tales, and by the way, I'm saying that Unforgettable Tales. That's important in case you're trying to match this up online. Unforgettable Tales hardback shows the first 2 Cyberfrog comics, plus a third that never originally saw print at Hall of Heroes, but did see print in the Frogapalooza zine that came with the executive edition of the Warts and All collection. But it will be all 3 of these issues, plus there's supposed to be 4 pages that also appear in here, where there are 4 pages of a Cyberfrog number 3 that went along with the Cyberfrog 2.5, and all of these pages and all of the pages from the original 2 Hall of Heroes issues will be colored and professionally lettered, and so they will look much more beautiful and be easier to read, and you will be able to appreciate them in the goodness in which it was originally intended, or at least as George Lucas would have made a special edition out of it. I shouldn't say that. Those freaking things are heresy. So altogether, you're looking at $85 if you're wanting to get the whole collection, or you're just paying for whichever segment you get. And again, I'm hoping that the 4 pages that represent the exclusive story can get separated out somehow as its own individual book, so that it can be attached to other products and sold in that fashion. I would love to, in my example, get a hat and that 4-page book, and I'd be happy with that. So, I'm Mike Partika. Thank you for watching. Please do go to the link in the video description so that you can check out the merchandise and whatever is up for sale on the Cyberfrog Dark Harvest campaign. And do subscribe so that on future notifications I will be reviewing Wrecked Planet, that's Cyberfrog 2 Wrecked Planet, as well as some of the additional comics that come with that. Cyberfrog Heartsick Horror, Salamandroid's Death Sting, and then I believe there is a Cyberfrog deleted scenes from Wrecked Planet, and I will be reviewing all of those. So do subscribe so that you get notifications when those videos show up, and I will talk to you later.